This house has a lot of bifold doors. Fortunately, most of them work, except we have a problem if we come in to this room here. We see yet another bifold door that works, and we turn and we look over here and uh-oh, it looks like this bifold door has fallen off. Actually, this bifold door has fallen off and we need to fix it. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find out how the door was first installed so that we can figure out what kind of new hardware we would need. So I'm going to fold it up. I am actually going to pull it down and I'm going to look at these, and it looks like they've got plastic pins, but you can see that the pins are bent. Then so that gets us to the top of the door. Now we can also look and find out what's at the bottom of the door. We come down here and we look down and we see that there's one of those metal cleats down here, or one of those metal pins, and then you have a metal cleat that the pin goes in, that it goes into. One last item that we need to check before we go out and get new hardware is we want to look at the track that the bifold door is on. So I'm looking up at the track. You can see it's bent a little bit, but it's not too bad. So let's follow the track all the way down to the end here. And actually the track looks actually very, very good, except a little bit, as I say, where it's bent up towards the end, but that should not be much of a problem. So now we're ready to go and buy our hardware, and we'll see you after that. Well, unfortunately, the piece of hardware that we got at the hardware store wasn't the right piece, and so we will have to go back to another store and we'll see if we can try and find the part that will work. So let's get back in the truck and let's get going. Here we are at our next store. Hopefully we will have better luck this time. See you inside. I am very happy to say that we found the part that we needed. So now we are ready to go home and put the part in the door and hopefully reattach the bifold door, and we can be done with this project and move on to the next one. See you back at home. Okay, moment of truth time. We are ready to hang the door. So the first thing we're going to do before we actually hang it is we're going to put in the pins. So I'm going to climb up here on the ladder, get up to the top of the bifold door, and then I look for the holes that are in the top of the bifold door and I push them in both sides, and I also have a hammer nearby so I can just tap them in and make sure that they're in pretty secure. Give it a tap, tap, tap. So I will do that. Now, here is the hard part where we're going to try and hang the door now so that we're ready to do that. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that both pins are on this track, and the first pin that's furthest away goes in the hole that anchors it in. So I'm going to try and tip the door, and I'm going to get that underneath. And then I got both pins in on the track, and then I'm going to lift the door to make sure that it's on the cleat, and it appears to be on the cleat. Now, moment of truth time to see if now, after all that we've done to fix it, the door is actually going to close. So we're going to pull it, and lo and behold, the door closes now. So what was once a broken bifold door has now been fixed. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like this, please hit the subscribe button. So long now. Hello, and thanks for joining me I'm going to be working on fixing a rock wall. So I'm going to flip the camera over the rock wall that we've got. Some of you may have a wall that is like this. As you can see, we've still got a little bit of winter going on, and so there's a lot of rocks that have been set, and they've been in here for many years. But I have a situation where I have a rock that has come out, and by the looks of it, it looks like they used some thin set mortar, and so it didn't really wear and it also didn't really last for very long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chisel it out first, and I'm going to get the area pretty well clean, and then I'm going to put in some cement, and we're going to put the rock back in, and hopefully and most likely the rock wall is going to be stronger than it ever was. So here we go. Okay, so as I mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by chiseling out this mortar or old cement. It looks like it's mortar, out of the area to get it cleaned up. So given the fact that I'm going to be using and since I'm going to be chipping away at some old stone, I've got my safety glasses on, I've got a chisel, I've got a second chisel here which I may be using, and then I've got a pretty strong hammer. So I'm just going to go in here. I already have a piece that's loose. I'm going to just take this, and we're going to come down here, and that one pops out pretty well. This actually seems like it's thin set mortar to me. So, and we're actually going to be using cement to then get this down. So I'm going to, okay, and then see if we can take this, see if we can pry it up a little bit. Yep, pry it right out. So here, all the old rock is coming out. So we're getting down to, and I have a little brush here because it helps me just to kind of see the work area that I've got and see what I'm working with. So we're going to come in here. We're going to take this. Okay, and I don't know whether you can see it, but this is our dog Charlie. So I'm going to ask him to, and he's always here helping me. And there we go. We're getting some more. We've got almost all of it out, and I want to get out. So this looks pretty good. Okay, so now that was relatively easy. So we just take our little brush, our whisk brush, get the area cleaned out, and then here is one of the rocks that was in there, and then here is the rock that fell out. It's right here. So I want to set this rock in. I want to make sure that it's going to fit the way it was supposed to, which it was going to fit in right about there, and you have this other rock piece fitting in here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cement, and then I'm going to put the cement on the bottom to obviously anchor the rock in, and then I'm going to put cement around the edges and the top of the rock to help it set. So here we go. Okay, we are back, and so we're now going to be mixing up the cement, and we're going to get it all ready, and then we're going to go ahead and put it down and get the rock set. And so fortunately I went out to my local hardware store, and I didn't have to buy the big 50-pound or 25-pound bag of cement, because they actually do make certain kinds of cement for very small jobs. So I have this little bag here, and that should just about do it. So I'm going to empty the bag in here. And one of the things that I want to do before I get started, because just any kind of cement, whenever you're using masonry, you want to put gloves on so you can protect your hands, because one of the things that often happens is that masonry can cause burns to your hands. And so we're going to get the gloves on here. I can just get that. Yep, there we go. As you can see, I don't put these on too often. So now I've got some water here that I brought out, and I'm just gonna pour a little bit in and gonna mix it up. Scrape it around the bottom here. And it's a pretty fluid mixture. So I think we are just going to let this set for just a moment and get nice and firm. And then we will go ahead and put the cement down in where the rocks are going to go, and then we'll be able to set it. So we'll be right back. Okay, well, hello again. After a quick trip to the hardware store because we have cement soup here, and that's not going to get the job done. So I went to the hardware store, got a bag of concrete, got a smaller bag. It's just a small little 10-pound bag, and we're going to cut it open here, and then we're gonna pour it all in. Shake it, all the dust and everything, so that's always fun. I'm gonna pour in a little water here. I'm gonna mix it up. Take that, mix it up as thoroughly as we can here. Probably gonna need a lot more cement than I figured that I would. So that's why I went ahead, and just in case, I got a second bag, because when you mix up cement, you actually want it to be more like pancake batter. So I'm gonna pour in the second bag here, and that should do it. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to take the trowel, and then I just take the trowel and I keep going in a circular motion inside of the bucket to just make sure it gets all mixed up. So I'm doing this, getting it mixed in. Okay, it's getting a lot thicker now. So then you want to look, because there's still sections where you can see the gray of the concrete, so you can see that it's still dry. So we're going to add just a little bit more water, not much. A little goes a long way. So we're going to take this, we're going to keep mixing it up until we get it to a nice consistency. I want it just maybe a little bit. It's actually pretty good. That's kind of close to where I want it. So it's nice and thick, but it isn't runny, and obviously it's not hard yet or really thick to move. It is like pancake batter. So once it's to the point, I'm still finding a couple of spots where it didn't mix. So I'm going to take the trowel, mix that up pretty well. So now then we take it out, and it's forming a nice clump here. So we're going to take that, and we're going to put a little bit in here. And we're going to take the trowel, and we're going to smooth it over. Take the trowel again, and we're going to put some up here, because this is where the rock is going to fit in. Unfortunately, this cement is going to harden relatively quickly. So we're going to put in enough here. We're going to put in enough here to just anchor the rock in there, and it's going to give enough time for the cement to set. And then it's going to do that. Smooth it out over the edge of the rock that's there. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to take the big rock and I'm going to set it in there, about where I want it. Okay, that's good. Exactly where I wanted it. And then I've got the smaller rock. I'm going to put that in there, but I see where I've got to fill in with some some cement. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just push that in a little bit. And then push that rock in like that. And then where there are seams on the top of the rock, I'm just going to put some cement up here. I'm going to push the cement in. I'm just going to let it fill in here. I'm going to take some cement, stick it in here. And you hear in the background, you hear the barking. That is my ever faithful dog, Charlie. He is the handy helper's friend. So we're going to just take this, I'm going to keep smoothing it out. Smooth it out so it looks relatively brand new. And then we're going to take some, and then this is where it's handy to have some gloves, because then you can just take it and you can take your fingers, you can push it in, and then I have just a little bit back here and a little bit on the trowel. I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to push it back in here, so that then that'll help it set. Pull that up a little bit, put that in, and again we're going to keep putting some cement over it so it can just serve as an anchor here. And then we're going to take that, we're going to just take our hands, and then this is a trick that I learned from the cement mason once. After you get it mixed up, there is nothing wrong with just taking your hand and pushing the cement in so it can form and look nice. And you can smooth it out. Just take your trowel, smooth it around the rock there. Push that in. You can already see the cement starting to set. So we're going to do that. Put a little bit more cement on the top, and then we're going to just push that in a little bit. Get that set. I'm going to take my fingers and press that in just a little bit here on the side, so it can keep serving as a spot to anchor. And a couple more in here, and then a little bit on the top here. I'm seeing a little bit more of the seam than I'd like here, so I'm going to put a little bit in on the side here. Just take the trowel and go up in a line, smooth it out a little bit, and here we are. So now the cement is in. But now one of the things that's happened is I have a lot of unwanted cement that has fallen off, and it is now on the step, which I don't want. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in, I'm going to just take the trowel, and I'm going to trowel it in. I'm going to put it back in the bucket, and I'm going to just sit here for just a moment. And you see Charlie is giving his thumbs up, his seal of approval here. He's doing his little post inspection here, and we're just going to I see it just another spot here where I want to just pop in a little bit more cement in here just to anchor it in. We're going to do that, and push that in just a bit. It looks good. And then you just see a spot here in front, and I just want to pop that in. Take that. That's your trowel. And you can use the edge of the trowel to push in the cement, and you can use your finger to follow it up and put that in, and just take the trowel, smooth it off a little bit. And now I think we're ready to let the cement dry. So we have set the stone, and now we're going to let the cement dry, and we will come back in just a little bit, and we're going to inspect what we've done. I'm going to just take the trowel, and I'm going to trowel it in. I'm going to put it back in the bucket, and I'm going to just sit here for just a moment. And you see Charlie Charlie is giving his thumbs up, his seal of approval here. He's doing his little post inspection here, and we're just gonna put, I see it just another spot here where I want to just pop in a little bit more cement in here just to anchor it in. We're gonna do that and push that in just a bit. That looks good. And you just see a spot here in front, and I just want to pop that in. Take that, your trowel, and you can use the edge of the trowel to push in the cement, and you can use your finger to follow it up and put that in, and just take the trowel, smooth it off a little bit. And now I think we're ready to let the cement dry. So we have set the stone, and now we're going to let the cement dry, and we will come back in just a little bit, and we're going to inspect what we've done. We are back, and it's been about 45 minutes, and the cement has started to set. And I'm going to just do a quick check on the big rock here with my hand. I'm going to try and move the rock a little bit. I'm going to try and move the small rock with my fingers, and both are not moving. So typically when you're putting in cement like this, especially in the cracks and the crevices, you want to give it about 24 to 48 hours to fully set. And then over a period of time, the cement is going to weather, and then it's going to blend in with the part of the stonework that you already have. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you picked up some tips and tricks, and if you have other projects that are similar to this around your house, I hope this gives you confidence to know that you can do this work yourself, and it will not only save you some time, it'll save you some money as well. And if you like this video, please click the like and subscribe button below, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hello, and in this segment we are going to work on something that probably every house has to some extent. I think we all have either a closet or a room or a shelf that is just a mess, and it needs to be organized and cleaned up. So what I want to do in this segment is I want to take a very small space. I want to show you the situation that I've got, and we'll give you some tips and tricks on how you can get it cleaned up, and so you can actually find the stuff that you want to find. So here's the space. With most cluttered areas, they oftentimes are sitting behind a door, or they're covered by something. In this case, I've got a door covering the area that we're going to work on. So I'm going to open up the door here, and let's see what we've got. We have the main shelf here. Looks like it's got some cat cleaning supplies. It looks like we've got some dog bones. We've got a bag with various types of plastic bags. Looks like we've got an old cereal box, and it looks like we've got some light bulbs and some, it looks like we tried to put some batteries in an organizing box. So we actually did try and get this area tidied at one point, but as you can see, this whole shelf here has become a mess. And then we also have that extending upwards to other things that have some like jars, and then you've got some food storage containers. So one of the first things that we're going to do in this case is we're going to empty out everything that is on the shelf or on the shelves here, so that we can actually see what we have. And then at that point, once we know what we have, then we'll go through it. We can put it other places, we can throw it out, we can donate it, and then we can work on getting the space all cleaned up and cleared up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to empty out everything that are on all 3 of these areas here, and then we will find out what we've got. Here we go. We have cleared off all of the shelves. Here is the middle shelf. Take a look, we look up at the top shelf, and we'll come down here to the bottom, and we have removed everything that is either bolted to the ground or is put into the wall. So we're gonna now move out and look at all of the things that we took out of the shelves to see what it is we've got. Oh, there's Charlie. He's guarding the door for us. So we're going to come out, and I put everything on a table here. So we see the fire extinguisher. We see a plastic box that holds various cords for technical devices. We see food storage. We see some light bulbs. We see other food storage containers. We see the cereal box that you saw before, the dog bones, and various other cat and animal cleaning up supplies. So now this is what everything looks like that was on the shelf there. And so now we're going to go about organizing it and making some sense of it. So here we go. We are back from all of the mess that I was able to pull off of the shelves. We can see that I was able to get 2 trash bags. So those are going to be going out soon, and I've sorted everything else, and we're just about ready to put them into plastic storage containers. And all of those plastic storage containers are right here. So everything that is over here is going to fit into all of this, and we're going to go make it happen, and we'll be able to see what the cleaned up closet is going to look like. All right, all of the plastic bins and all of the other items have been put back into the closet. So let's open the door and look at the big reveal. Open up the door here. And we see the bottom here of the closet is looks a little tidier, but the real change is up here on the first shelf where we've got all of the light bulbs in one box. We've got our batteries in separate boxes. We've got our cords and our plastic bags. And then on the very top shelf, we have our mason jars and plasticware all in one single tub. And then we have our huge amount of plastic food storage containers all in one bin. All right, all of the plastic bins and all of the other items have been put back into the closet. So let's open the door and look at the big reveal. Open up the door here, and we see the bottom here of the closet is looks a little tidier, but the real change is up here on the first shelf where we've got all of the light bulbs in one box. We've got our batteries in separate boxes. We've got our cords and our plastic bags. And then on the very top shelf, we have our mason jars and plasticware all in one single tub. And then we have our huge amount of plastic food storage containers all in one bin. This project is now finished. I hope that some of what you saw here can give you some insights that you can then translate and use in your own space. If you were wondering what was the cost of some of these plastic bins, for everything that you see here, it was about $75. And I want to just thank you so much for watching. If you liked this and you feel you got something from it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and looking forward to seeing you next time. So long now. Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. We are going to work on a home maintenance task that probably most people don't want to do. It's certainly not high on their list, and that's cleaning out a rain gutter. It is a task that can take a lot of time. It can be really messy, and it's just not something that people look forward to doing, at least I found. So I have literally tried every possible tool out there to clean my rain gutter, from the tool that you hook up to your leaf blower to the tool that has the two jaws that tries to grip the leaves. And in all of the years that I've done rain gutter cleaning, I have found 4 tools that are the best to use. The first tool that I've got is a pair of gloves with rubber palms in it. The next is this long orange scooper. It's very long, it's very narrow, so it helps to get into the gutter to help scoop out the leaves. Then I've got this extendable wand, which is going to wash out the gutter once I've cleaned it out. And last but not least, I've got a bucket to then put all of the leaves and literal gunk that's going to come out of the rain gutter into the bucket, so that then I can throw it out. So we are going to move on, and I'm going to show you our first gutter that we're going to work on. So we'll see you out there. Okay, this is the first gutter that we're going to be cleaning out. As you can see, I've set up my ladder, and this is the gutter. It's a pretty long gutter, and it goes right down to the drain spout. The drain spout comes all the way down here. So let's go up the ladder and see what this gutter looks like before we clean it out. This is a really dirty gutter. It isn't over full, but it's pretty full of leaves, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working to get the leaves out first, and then once I've gotten all of the leaves out, then I'm going to wash it out, and then we'll have a very clean gutter, which I'll show you later. Here we go. Okay, we have now made our first pass and collected the bulk of all of the leaves and all of the gunk and muck that was in there. And as you can see, we've filled the bucket, and it's actually pretty heavy. So now we're ready to go, and we're ready to start washing out the gutter with our wand tool. So let me just show you briefly about this wand tool. It's got a adjustable nozzle, so you can move it from one side to the next, varying upon the direction of your gutter, and then you can actually extend it up high. So now we're going to wash out the gutter, and if we have to, then we'll finish up some last little bit of cleaning, and then we'll go on to the next gutter. Okay, once I've made 2 passes with the wand, then I'm going to get back up and I'm going to look at the gutter to see if there's any remaining leaves that need to be cleaned out. And we're almost done with this gutter. Okay, we've got the remaining leaves out. I've got the rest of it in the bucket. I'm going to do one more pass with the wand, and we'll take a look at what we got. Okay, we are now at the other end of the gutter, and we're going down the gutter, and you can see that it's pretty clean. We've got virtually all the leaves out all the way down to the drain spout. So now it's time to move on to our next gutter. Okay, we are at our next rain gutter, and you can see that the setup here is a little bit different because in front of this gutter, for at least half of the gutter, we have a very large bush, and then it goes down, and then it goes over to the spout here and comes down to the edge of the house. So this is going to require a different setup. We're going to use the same tools that we did before. So what I've done is I've set up my ladder here. I've got the wand set up to the right length, and then I'm going to go down the gutter about halfway and make sure it's as rinsed out and as cleaned out as I possibly can. And then I'm going to get up on the ladder and finish scooping out the rest of all of the leaves. So here we go. So we've done our first pass there. There was a lot of leaves that were caught up there. So we're going to do one more pass through with the wand, and then I think we're going to be done with this gutter. Okay, I made one more pass with the hose wand that I've got. And as you can see, this gutter is really clean all the way down to the spout. All right, we are back and we've cleaned the two gutters that really needed to be cleaned. I will be honest to tell you, I'm a little wet, I'm a little cold, and I'm also a little bit tired, but I'm also really happy to have gotten this job finished. And I want to thank you for joining me, and thank you for being here. And if you liked what you saw, if you got something from it, please click like and subscribe. And if there are any other projects or tasks that you'd like to see me work on, please go ahead and let me know and I will add it to the list. But thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Hi everyone. I wanted to take a few moments to share with you a little tip and trick when it comes to moving heavy pieces of furniture by yourself. It can be done, and I wanted to show you the project that I have going on right now. So here quickly is the project that I've got going on now. Is I have a ceiling where all of the sheetrock needs to come off because it's very old and it's cracking, and obviously then once we put the new sheetrock up, it's going to have to be taped and painted. But what that means is every piece of furniture except for the bed in this room needs to be moved out. So I have two very large chests of drawers that are very, very heavy. This is the first chest that we're going to move, and one of the options that we have when we move something like this is we can take all the drawers out and we can move the piece of furniture, and then we put the doors back in, but then we need to do the same thing all over again when we move the piece back into the room. So one of the things that I found works really well are these pads that have rubber on one side and have felt on the other side. Now this makes it very easy to move something like this, especially on a wood floor, and it also keeps the floor from being scratched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 4 pads on, and I'm going to show you how to move it out of the room. So I'm going to take one of these pads here, then I lean the piece of furniture up on its edge. It's pretty heavy, so just with your foot you can guide the pad underneath the piece of furniture, then you tip it up again, you take the next pad and you put it down. So I've got 2 of the 4 done, and I'm going to come over here, I'm going to put these 2 pads down, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now the chest is on the pads, and so I'm going to take the pads, I'm not going to take the pads, I'm going to take the chest, I'm going to put the chest, push the chest this way, turn it around, and you see how it moves easily on the floor. So the very first challenge that I have once I get the pads on is I need to get this chest of drawers up and over this threshold. So I'm going to pull the chest towards me. Then what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to lift the base of the chest up to get it up and over the threshold. And what that's going to cause is it's going to cause the pads to come off, which is fine. So here we go. So I've come back around, the chest is over the threshold, so I'm going to pick up these pads, get them out of the way, if I can. Right here, here it is. Okay. Then I'm going to use these pads on the other side and then help push this over the threshold like this. You see that one of them's come off, but that's okay. Do that. So at this point I've got the chest halfway in, so I'm going to put the other set of pads on the side of the legs that are here in the hallway that I want to move the chest to, and then I'm going to push the chest through the hallway so I can make room for the next chest. So we're going to do the same thing we did. Lift up a little bit, get the pads underneath. Lift up a little bit, get the pads underneath. And we grab the other side of the chest, tip it up slightly from the side that the pads aren't on, and don't get your clothes caught. Just push it until chest is over the threshold, and we can take the other 2 pads and put them down. we're going to just pull this chest all the way down. The pads came off. It's going to be better if I push it. Do that. And now we're going to kick off the pads. We're going to need those for the next piece that we move. Okay, so our first chest of drawers is moved. We're going to move on to the next one. Here we go. Okay, we are back. We're going to get ready to move our second chest. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did with the first chest of drawers. We're going to put these pads underneath the legs. So here we go. Yeah, I'm making a video.
Oh.
So, almost done. So now we got the pads on the chest of drawers, and just like we did with the first one, it makes this easy to push across the floor. So we're going to push it all the way across the floor until we get over to the threshold. Being careful that if one of the pads comes off, then we need to just put it back underneath. And then we can just keep pushing it. And be careful as it's going over the wood floor that it doesn't catch on any slats. So then we want to turn it. Okay, so we're going to keep pushing this right up to the door. You can see it. It's going to come up right up to the threshold. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other chest. We're going to pull it up. We're going to pull it up and over the threshold like this. Fortunately, this chest is a little easier to move, so I'm going to pick up the end and I'm going to pull it towards me into the hallway. Okay, so we've now moved both of the chest of drawers out of the room, so we're ready for the sheet rockers. And thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please click the like and subscribe button. And if there's any other project that you'd like to see me work on, please let me know. Thank you. Bye now.